it was pretty prevalent. It's been there for quite a while, she said, and she had a name for it.
A fibroma.
Fibroma. And so as I was working in her hip, this knot is starting to release. The knot is starting to go down. In fact, it's kind of hard for me to feel it. Do you want to flex your foot?
Yeah, there's definitely less tension there because the knot kind of holds it tight.
Tight.
And I can flex clear back now. It's relaxed, poppy.
So sometimes when in my experience, when I'm working with feet, oftentimes I can go up into the hip and can release the foot through going through the hip. So that was pretty good. That was a pretty good bonus that we're going to get from this sciatic.
I didn't expect that.
It's always nice when the unexpected is nice. Okay, here we go. Okay. So I'm coming back up. We're going to balance her pelvis because we don't really know where the impingement is on her sciatic nerve. There we go. Wow. So that was quite a movement. That was quite a shift. I felt the shift both in the back and in the front. I'm going to borrow her hand. I'm going to come into where, so I've got the top of my hand on her sacrum on the bottom, and I've got the heel of my hand by her trochanter. I'm moving this hand to her pubic bone. I'm going to work through her hand, and this gives your nervous system a 3D view of what's happening in your pelvis. And so we're just going to give it that picture and then let it decide if it wants to move or shift accordingly. And it did. There was some movements and some shifting happening. And then I'm going to go ahead and let her move away, and I'm going to jump in here with her knee. There we go. Nice. And go back down to the bottom of her foot, which doesn't have as big a lump anymore. There we go. Nice. And her foot just relaxed out.
And my whole leg's freezing cold.
And her whole leg is freezing cold, which is good. That's a release, so that's good. So we're going to go ask her, does out feel better or in? Out or in?
Out.
Out. So I'm just going to hold that out. So this is working with her femur because there's another place that can be part of the impingement. And that just really freed something up too. Whoosh. That was a whoosh. And it's still going, so we're just allowing it to happen. There it goes. And then I'm going to lift her leg and just ask her, does out feel better or in? Out. So we're going to go out. I'm just going to rest my hand on her kneecap and see what her body does with that information. Okay, so I'm not moving her. It's not a free movement yet. It's still pretty tied up in there.
Yeah, I can feel it pulling.
Okay, so she's starting to feel it pull here. So we're done with that movement. We're going to come in here because we don't go into pain. We don't do something that causes pain. Because I'm working in the nervous system, if I do something with Steph that causes her to be uncomfortable, to hurt, for it to tighten up, for it to just feel icky, then she, excuse me, something was happening, sorry. Then her nervous system guards up, and then she has to be uncomfortable, and it's not going to really work. So I always tell my clients that if something happens to start to be uncomfortable, let me know right away, and we do it differently. We just find a different way to do it. Is that eased up?
Mm-hmm.
And the place that it pulled?
There's one spot right in there, a little deeper
In the sacrum?
It's pretty tight.
There it goes. And it's starting to loosen. There it goes. And it goes so far and then it stops. It doesn't give the full release, so I'm just going to go back in. There was a release. What did that feel like?
Yeah, I definitely felt that.
Perfect. So it's not as tight.
Yeah, it felt like pulling, and that's tension's gone.
Perfect. Perfect. So now that that tension's gone, I want to come back up. I'm going to hold her leg, and then we're just going to see if it's able to release now. Is that pulling again? Perfect. And here it comes. So before it was pretty stiff. There wasn't a full movement, a full range, and now she can do that. So that's awesome. Oh, that's better in your hip, huh? There's still a little bit right here. In relationship to her hip, there's a little bit of tightness here in her knee. So I just want to come in and hold both places and see if we can get that information in. There we go. What did that do?
Feels like it's melting.
Yeah, that's what it felt like to me, like it was melting. There we go. There's still a little bit happening. So
I feel like it's kind of the tension shifting downward. Does that make sense? Like I can feel more in my knee, and now I'm feeling something in my ankle.
Okay, so we're just gonna go.
But now it's feeling really relaxed up here.
Up here? Yeah. So now we're just gonna go down here, and there we go. That just helped. So now I'm just in the knee and the ankle, and I'm also I'm keeping the nerve also in my